So one day, Paul Kempenegger took 4 of us out into Yosemite Valley. And he said, bring your cameras. He gave us a box of 4x5 positive negative film, meaning Polaroids produce a positive print that you rip off, right? Everybody knows that. But they also made a film that had negatives. You could pull this off, put the negative in your bag, bring it back and process that just like a regular negative later on that you could then use in an enlarger and make prints from. So he says, I'm going to take you out into Yosemite Valley. Okay, here's what we're going to do. So he brings us all out there. There's 5 of us out there, including himself. He plunks down his heavy tripod. He puts his heavy camera on it. And there's Half Dome, and there's Yosemite Falls, and there's all these amazing, iconic vistas, as we all know, in Yosemite Valley. So he says, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a photograph, and you are all going to do 10 photographs. And I don't want you to look at, I don't want to see an iconic photograph. I want you to try and personalize these photographs. But you are not to move your tripod. So the concept is, there's, no matter where you are, if you really look, there are things to paint or photograph. In that case, photograph. And he says, so he took his camera and he's going click, and he's got that. And then he took one more and he says, now you. So here's the box of film. I want 10 photographs. We're going to bring them back to the studio. We're going to talk about them. And you're not to do this. You're only to do this. And the whole exercise was to show us that you can photograph anywhere. You can photograph anything, but you have to pre-visualize what it is you can photograph. You have to know in your mind before you snap that shutter what it is that you actually want to take a picture of. Why do you want to take that picture? Is it the light? Is it the structure? Is it the composition? Is it all of them? Is it the contrast? You just have to see it before you snap that shutter, because it's just one sheet of film is all you're going to get on that photograph. And it was the best lesson that I've ever had for photography, and the best training that I ever had for the way I view paintings. Because when I view a painting, same thing. I ask myself, what is it that I'm painting? Why am I painting it? Is it the light? Is it the shadow? The contrast? All of the above? And I do the same thing as if I was treating that piece of film as a very valuable object, which a painting is as well. So most people, whenever I do teach, which is not that often, but when I do teach, it's a valuable thing to tell them that they don't always recognize that I need to be clear about what I'm painting before I even start. I mean, very clear about what I'm painting. When you're confused at the start, and I'm sure Paul as a teacher can attest, you're going to be confused in the middle and you're going to be confused at the end, and the painting is not going to work. So yes, there's magic that happens all along the way, but I try to have that finished painting in my head when I start, and I try to communicate that as best I can through the painting and bring it off at the end. And it doesn't always happen. I scrape paintings. I'm not happy with what I'm doing. I get off track in the middle of the painting, but then somehow at the end of the painting it comes back. Maybe not, but the concept is very much ingrained in me from the photography. And when I end the painting, it's just like I critique myself the same way. I ask the same exact question. Why did I paint this? Did I achieve it? Did I communicate what I had in my mind before I started? If yes, great. Why did I achieve? How did I achieve that? I try to answer that question. If it didn't succeed, I try to answer that question. Why didn't it succeed? So every single painting, in fact, every single brushstroke is really a question. The same way, you're really questioning, is it too light, is it too dark? Is the color too saturated, is it too unsaturated? You're asking these questions all along the way. And it's always a learning experience, is the way I treat it. Not necessarily everybody else, but I do. So that's what I'm trying to give you, is it's not always what you think you should be going out to paint. It's what you actually feel at the time, and it could be anywhere. I mean, this painting is just a tree standing in the middle of nowhere, but it was an homage to Picasso. I mean, I thought that, I saw it clearly at the time, that it reminded me of a Picasso painting, so I shot it. This is just the underside of a plant. When I used to live in Florida, I was just sitting out at my pool one day, and I looked over, and there was this plant, and the leaf was turned over, and I said, oh, that's really cool. Set up the camera, and I took that. So, I encourage you to really be clear if you're a painter. If you're not a painter, then it doesn't really matter, but to be clear about when you start, why you're doing it, what it is you're painting, and that's my story for today. So I'm going to do a demo, and as Tim suggested, if you'd like to watch, well, actually, if you don't mind, just drag the chairs inside, and that'll clear up this area for people to walk around and really see the paintings clearly. And I thank you all for coming.